Hey friends! Hey friends! Today we are doing something that I have been putting off. We are rating all 125 Pokemon. Jessie, I hear you say, have we met before? Possibly in Michigan. Because you're asking me, didn't we already do this? And I'm going to say, yeah, queen, but it's a series. I can't do all 1,025 Pokemon in one video. And last time we left off on Growlithe, so we are back to do some more. Hopefully this time we'll get through all original 151. I don't know. Let's see how fast we can get through. Remember, we are not rating on any, gameplay playability. We're not rating on, anything they ever said or did. We're not rating on, the trainer that they were used with. We're not rating on anything but how cute they are and how much I like them. Completely biased rating system. Now, Growlithe, so cute. 10 out of 10. Arcanine, so cute, so cool. I want to ride one. 10 out of 10. Poliwag. I love this whole evolution line. The swirlies, I don't know why it's hard to get them in the right direction, but when you get them in the right direction, the drawing comes out cute. Love. 10 out of 10. Poliwhirl. He's a little less cute because he doesn't have his tail, but I do like his gloves, and the general shape of him is just so bonita. 10 out of 10. I love the shape of you. Now, Poliwrath. It's kind of annoying that he looks almost the exact same as Poliwhirl, shape-wise, But he's very cute, 10 out of 10. Abra. She's so cute! 10 out of 10. Kadabra. 10 out of 10, she's so cute. Hello. She's so cute. Alakazam. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the controversy. It might have been the last one, but this one had some sort of controversy where they, stopped printing cards of it because some really self-centered guy was like, you're copying me. Even though they weren't copying him, you're just self-centered. And you think everything is about you because you're an entitled white man. I digress. I think this Pokemon's really cute, and I'm really sad that it got all fucked up over that guy, and I really hope that they make more cards. Okay, Machamp. I think he's as ugly as sin. Not a fan, but he's so cute. Wait, did I say 10 out of 10 for the last one? Fuck. I don't know. But 10 out of 10, because he's 151 original. No, I'm not biased. What are you talking about? Manchoke. Way cuter of a design, way better. I like this shade of blue better. It looks less like he's dying. I think the design just has more detail. He has that whole little panties he's wearing. He's got little red marks. His head's shaped a little bit more like an alligator. I vibe with that. I vibe with that. So 10 out of 10. Machamp. Love the extra arms. Love the yellow goatee. Love. I don't know why the red designs on the arms disappeared just because he has more arms. But, I love his panties. He's great. 10 out of 10. Bellsprout. A real 10 out of 10. I fucking love Bellsprout. I think she's so cute. If you go and watch, the original Pokemon movie and that little, cut between scenes where they go, Bellsprout. Bellsprout. I love that shit. Bellsprout is such a cutie. 10 out of 10. Weepinbell. 10 out of 10. I think if Pokemon were real, I would like to have a Weepinbell. I just want one to sit by my bed while I sleep at night and protect me and maybe tell me sweet, sweet dreams. This is my boyfriend's laptop. Don't read his texts. God. Anyway, Weepinbell's cute. 10 out of 10. Victory Bell. Victory Bell is so cute. I love the whole lid thing. And the leaf is kind of shaped like an ivy leaf or something. I think it's so cute. I love me a Victory Bell. I love her voluptuous body. She's got a big tummy just like me. My big tummy. Love her. 10 out of 10. Tentacruel. Tentacruel was the Pokemon that made water-type Pokemon my favorite Pokemon. Is this my favorite water-type Pokemon? No, but this was the Pokemon that was like, okay, I fuck with water-type so hard. That episode in Pokemon, like the show, with that scary-ass old lady who was like, I want to build condos! And Tentacruel saying, bitch, you ain't building no condos on my water. Love. We love an environmental activist. Just like Trio and Doug Trio, or whatever their names are. Doug Duo, Doug Trio. Diggly-dee. Oh, Diglett. That's what it's called. Diglett. Just like that, I think I mentioned this in the last video when Diglett was on. I think we did Diglett in the last video. I don't remember. But we love an environmental activist, so 10 out of 10. Same exact story, 10 out of 10. I love the nose. And I love how the little jewels on the top of the head look like they're cute, adorable anime eyes. And then you look below and you're like, oh, those are their real eyes. 10 out of 10. Geodude. I want to go work out the gym with Geodude. I really think he'd be a good gym partner. Maybe not for leg day. You know? But I want to work out with him. 10 out of 10. Graveler. Graveler is a little scarier than Geodude. Also, the idea of it being gravel, I mean, gravel just seems like it's very not compact and together. I imagine maybe he'd leave some crumbs on my carpet, on my couch, on my bed. Like, is he slowly eroding away? Because gravel doesn't sound very secure. I don't know. But he is a cutie. I like that he has 4 arms. Anything with extra arms is always, you know, a win for me. I think he's very bonita. I think other Pokemon have been round better. Even coughing, I think, does it better. But you know what, Round King? You're fine. 10 out of 10. Golem. Now, this is cute. This is where Round does well. Golem is a very cute round. And all the little shapes, they're probably supposed to mimic like a turtle shell, but they're actually supposed to be like boulders. But you know what they actually remind me of? It reminds me of the cube from Portal. And I love the cube from Portal. That game is fucked up, by the way. But yeah, I love Golem. He's so cute. I don't think I've ever even had one, like in Pokemon Go or the card or anything. But I love him. Look at him. He's so cute. Ponyta. Okay, you guys, I have a traumatic story about Ponyta. When I was a kid, I forgot what Pokemon was for some reason. I was having like amnesia. And I had a Ponyta, and I didn't understand that it was a Pokemon, and so I was scared about why I had this action figure of a horse on fire, and I thought it was really demented and really fucked up, and so I got rid of it. What am I doing getting rid of the awesomest action figure ever? I had a Ponyta one. I had it's called Caravana or something. It's like a green circle with like leafy arms and a big red mouth. I had the one that got banned because you could make it sing whatever you want, the little like music note bird. And I had that little ocean Pokemon that looks like Raichu, and like a weasel had a baby, kind of. Those were the 4 I had, and I wish I still had them. I wish I didn't forget what Pokemon was and get rid of it. How did I forget what Pokemon was? I don't know. I had a traumatic childhood. I was forgetting things, you know. I temporarily forgot Pokemon existed, so I was really disturbed by the burning horse. I was a little child. I got rid of my stuff, and that's really bad. Okay. Really bad. Anyway, Ponyta is so cute. I remember her now, obviously, and I think she's great, and I love the whole Ponyta Rapidash story with Ash, and she's great, and she's cute, and she's awesome, and I love that you can sit on her and not burn your coochie. She's awesome. I don't want to end up with great marks on my ass like Christina Yang and Owen. So I'm really glad that she ain't gonna do that to me with her flames. So 10 out of 10. Rapidash, 10 out of 10. I mean, she's literally a unicorn, so could I give her an 11 out of 10? Like, she's a fucking unicorn. The fuck? Also, I'm sorry this picture's not bigger. It's the Pokemon website's fault, not mine. So, 10 out of 10. Slowpoke. Oh my god, Slowpoke is so cute. I love it when they are going fishing with their own tail. Like, I think if I was an animal with a tail, I might try fishing with my own tail once or twice. And then I would end up getting injured one time, and I'd be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. But it was fun while it lasted. Like, oh, she's so cute. I just want to cuddle her. Like, let's go to the beach together and make a sandcastle. I think you'd be good at it. So, 10 out of 10. Slowbro, same story. This is me in the after when I've learned not to do that. 10 out of 10. Which, oh my god, when I was a kid, Slowbro and Lickitung looked so similar to me that I thought they evolved into each other, and that makes no sense, but that's what I thought. 10 out of 10. Magnemite. I did not like Magnemite as a kid because I was like, okay, I don't want my Pokemon to be robots. I want my Pokemon to be animals. But 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Magneton. 10 out of 10. Farfetch'd. I think Farfetch'd is so cute. I mean, she does have a unibrow problem, but that's okay. Also, I love that she just carries around a vegetable, and it makes me wonder if that vegetable goes bad, does she have to grab a new one? And if she does, what is she when she doesn't have one? And what happens if she can't find a new one? If, like, does it ever wilt? Or maybe she never has to get a new one because it's feeding off of her life force to forever stay fresh. These are the things I wonder. But I love her. And she's cute. And she's got, stuff on her head. She's cute. I love her. 10 out of 10. Doduo, 10 out of 10. Look at that little cutie. Those eyes are the eyes of innocence. Like, when children die and go to heaven, this is who welcomes them. That's fucked up. Whatever. She's so cute, okay? You can't tell me she's not just an innocent little baby. 10 out of 10 Doduo. The trio, can't speak. The trio, still so cute. They each have their own little emotion, although all of them look angry. But I think one of them is supposed to be angry, one of them is supposed to be sad, and one of them is supposed to be, like, subdued. Or maybe one of them is supposed to be happy. I don't know. But they all always look kind of angry, and I still love them. I think they're so cute. I think we could have done a little more with our color palette because we kind of just look like a Firo. But, you know, sometimes we're boring. That's okay. 10 out of 10. Seal. Kind of not a very creative Pokemon. I kind of hate it when Pokemon are just the animals of the real world. But this is a 151, and it has a cute little spike on his head, and he says stupid things. So I love him, so 10 out of 10 to Seal. And Dewgong, oh my god, Dewgong is so bonita, so pretty. Like, that tail just makes her seem so fancy. I feel like if she was a fabric, she would be the fanciest lacy fabric in the whole world. I think she's so cute, and I love her. She kind of should be a little bit more different than where she came from. You know, it's really just her fins that be different, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I would think I would have given her, like, a blue spine of, like, flowy stuff. But it's okay. 10 out of 10. Grimer. I think Grimer is so cute. Grimer is just like a little baby. And also, Grimer kind of makes me feel like we're trying to make a statement about pollution. And I love that because water pollution's bad. And also, Grimer totally gives the vibes of, like, you would be good at hugging. I'm gonna hug you. If it won't make me smell like shit, maybe we should put a tarp over you. But she's cute, 10 out of 10. Muck. Literally everything I just said, but times 1,000, because I think Muck would do everything I just said even better than Grimer. So 10 out of 10. And I also love how Muck's arms are longer and Muck's mouth is bigger, and just like Muck is just more, and more is better. 10 out of 10. Shelter. This is what I really like. I don't really like it when Pokemon are just like the animal or the object, especially not the object. Oh my god, when Pokemon are, we'll get into it. But I think Shelter is just so cute. Like, if you mysteriously got a tattoo and you couldn't like pick what it was, and it ended up being a Shelter tattoo, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know? She's just cute. She's just cute. She's just cute. So, 10 out of 10. Cloyster. One of the best Pokemon. Not only does it look like a vulva, but the name is even close to clitoris. It's got like 6 or something of the same letters. 7, I don't know. It's got a lot of the same letters. And I love that. And I love that the vulva has spikes on the outside, because it says, "You're not touching my cooch without permission, rape, no, no." So Cloyster is one of the very best Pokemon. Sorry, I kicked the tripod. And if you're a feminist, you agree. Or a misandrist, I see you, Pookies. Cloyster is amazing, and I love Cloyster. And again, Cloyster would be one that if you got a tattoo, you'd be like, not at the end of the world. Honestly, if I did a theme for a sleeve and that theme was vaginas, that wouldn't be that bad. I would get a Cloyster, and I would get an oyster, and I would get flowers, and I would get all kinds of things that look like coochies. I'd probably even straight up just get a coochie, and that would be good. Ghastly. What's funny about Cloyster and Ghastly is they're both little black balls and purple blobs, so maybe they're the same person. I love Ghastly. I love Ghastly's voice. I love that Ghastly has vampire fangs. And I think this is a thing, maybe I'm making this up, but I think Ghastly turns red sometimes. Maybe I made that up, but if that's a thing, I like it. And the design is so good, and I love the idea of it being ghostly, like with the purple part, and orby, like with the black part, because you know when people say, like, if you take a photo of a ghost, sometimes it's just a light orb instead of the actual figure of the ghost. 10 out of 10. Haunter, same story, 10 out of 10. Also gives hedgehog vibes, because imagine him like face down and all the spikes just going up. Don't want to step on that. She's so cute. And I like how she ditched Ash in that one episode, because she's such a silly guy. And I like how all of the spooky Pokemons were made out to be class clowns instead of spooky jerks. Big fan. 10 out of 10. Gengar. Recently, I learned that there's so many Gengar cards just because someone who works at Pokemon is their favorite Pokemon. And I think that's hilarious, because that would be me. If I worked at Pokemon, there would be 300 Rhyhorn cards instead of 53 or however many there are. There would be so many. Because Rhyhorn's my favorite Pokemon. Hopefully we get to Rhyhorn today. Gengar, I love you. 10 out of 10. Onix, definitely 10 out of 10. However, when I was a kid, I thought that Graveler would evolve, and then the fourth one, like it would keep going, and it was Onix. So when Onix was 95 instead of, you know, whatever number that would be, I was always confused. Because doesn't Onix look like it would have been Graveler at one point? Like Graveler was like, let's just get longer, fuck my arms, you know? I also love that Onix is essentially a rock snake, or a rock eel, or whatever, or a rock worm, and it's great. I also love the giant, like, fin on their head, because it's giving, like, fish vibes, even though rock is weak to water. I love it. 10 out of 10. Drowsy! I found out Drowsy was inspired by a real animal with a big fat nose. And this Japanese rumor that they steal your dreams and shit. And I think that's so cool. And I love Drowsy. And he always reminds me of Nesquik. Look at him. Nest quick. 10 out of 10. Hypno. I like Hypno maybe even more because they have the little ball thing, and they have a clown neck thing. You know when clowns have the frillies on their neck? I love clowns. Also, they have pointy ears like a kitty cat. I love kitty cats. Also, they have big noses like those pretty model women, and I love that. And when I was little, there was this black circle thing in my backyard. I think it was the part of like our pool or something, but I kept it, and I used to pretend that it was like the ring from Coraline that I could see out of, or I would pretend that it was the ring from Lord of the Rings, and I would play make-believe with it all the time, and it looks exactly like that thing. So I love Hypno for personal reasons, and 10 out of 10. Krabby, again, just a crab. However, I love crabs. They're so cute. So 10 out of 10. I also love how Ash's crab is so shrimpy. I know I said none of these ratings are about the TV show, yet I keep referencing the TV show, but it's because I like the TV show and you can go suck my nuts. We only have about 10 minutes left. Let's see how much we can get through. 10 out of 10. Kingler, I love that they copy real life and give him one claw that's bigger than the other. I love that he suddenly has an underbite, and I love that he has a crown because he's a kingler. And it kind of sounds like Kinger, who has been my favorite Amazing Digital Circus character since the very beginning of the show, but now I'm overthinking that because I realize that he in real life is an AI white man, and I don't like AI white men. So we're having a mental breakdown over that. But besides that, I love Kingler. Oh, besides that, I love Kinger. No, that has nothing to do with Kingler. I love Kingler. I love Kingler 10 out of 10. He's so cute, and his smile is so mischievous. Voltorb. I've always been a Voltorb and something hater because they're just a circle, and if you know how I feel about the designs that are just a circle, because you know how I feel about Squishmallows. I hate Squishmallows, but there is a Voltorb fan on TikTok, and I'm a big fan of their TikToks, and I can't hate anything in the original 101. I know I'm not biased. So 10 out of 10. Electrode. That's the word I was trying to think of. Honestly, I like Electrode better because look at those powerful eyebrows. It's giving cunt. Love it. 10 out of 10. Execute. I think Execute is so cute. And I love the idea of them helping out a magician, and I love the idea of them being mischievous and pulling pranks, and I just love them. I think they're so cute, and again with like all the different emotions thing, I love it. The broken one is kind of depressing because I think that means it's dead, but it's also not depressing because their siblings never left them behind. They always stay together no matter what, and I think that's so cute. So I love Execute, and I love them. 10 out of 10. Executor. I love it when they get really tall like a palm tree. It's beautiful. I know some people make fun of the Alolans and different varieties, but I actually think if you look at it from an evolutionary standpoint, like if you look at camouflage, I think it makes sense that they would get really tall. So I am a big fan, and it also reminds me of giraffes, and I love giraffes, and I love it, and she's so cute, and I love that she has 2 toes. And I love that her toes are basically the exact same as Snorlax's toes, except Snorlax has 3 toes. I love it, and she's so cute, and I love the silly, like, I like how they're all on drugs. Like, they all have different emotions, except this time all of their emotions are, I'm high. So it's funny. So I love it, 10 out of 10. Cubone. Saddest backstory ever, but also so cool. And people point out, like, well, what do you do if your mom doesn't die? Blah, 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 blah. But what people don't realize is that your mom dying is a real thing in nature. Think about spiders. They get eaten by their own babies. Think about octopuses. Birth is so hard on them that they just die because they literally starve themselves the whole time during pregnancy. So I think Cubones wearing their mom's skull actually makes sense if you look at animals and science. And I think that's so cool. And I think they're so cute And the people who draw pictures of Pokemon without their extra parts, and so they draw a Cubone without the skull, that's demented and it looks weird, and I don't like it. But also I like that Cubone is theorized to low-key just be a Charmander. That's cute. Because I could imagine that that would happen. A Charmander is born, but the Charizard doesn't survive the birth. So, a Cubone is how it evolves. Like, imagine, like, Charmander evolves into Cubone instead of Charmeleon because of how, like, Slowpoke puts his tail on the ground and evolves into, you know what I mean? So, I think that's cool. But also, that would go less with the part that I said about the mom dying making sense, because obviously we know not all Charmazards die when they have a baby, so that part wouldn't be the same, but it'd still be cool. It would just mean that Cubones might be rarer, but I like it, and 10 out of 10. I like the stick and how it's pointing on the end that they're holding instead of the other end. Marowak is not pointing on any end. Somehow the bone suddenly gets longer, and somehow the skull changes shape. But that's how evolution works, and I like him, and he's cute. And I like how his stripes have more pattern than the other belly stripes. 10 out of 10. Hitmonlee. I love Hitmonlee. Cut off this arm and this leg and this arm, but leave this leg, and you got a chicken nugget. I mean a chicken leg. Now you won't see Hitmonlee the same. But I like Hitmonlee. I think the eyeballs being black is cool. And I like whatever's going on with their legs. It looks like their legs are bendy straws. And I love bendy straws, so I'm happy. And 10 out of 10. Hitmonchan. I love her purple dress. I love her purple shoes. I love her little shoulder, how it's like armor on the outside of her arm, so she has like a arm coochie on top. I think that's so cool. And I love her hair. Her hair is like boop, 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 boop. And for some reason, she reminds me of that scene in Friends when Joey has the finger and Ross says, "For the love of God, take it off," and throws it on the ground. And I think she's so cute. And also what she reminds me of is, because her face is that shape, she reminds me of a Viva Pinata character. Like her head could have been a Viva Pinata character's mask, like human characters, not pinatas. But I love her. We might only have time for one more because I'm running out of time. We might not get to Rhyhorn. Lickitung. Oh, Lickitung is so cute. I love the giant tongue, and I love that it can get way longer, and I love the design on their belly, and I love the knee circles. The knee circles are so cute, and I love their tiny little bone thumb. I think a bone thumb is really cool. I would like to have a bone thumb, not in exchange for my real thumb, but as an extra. I would love to have a bone thumb, and I want to see the tongue go out as long as it can, and I want to see that next to a picture of a bus, because people put pictures of dinosaurs next to pictures of buses, and so I would like to see a diagram of Lickitung's tongue next to a bus. 10 out of 10. We have time to do coughing. Okay, coughing. I love the gassy princess. I love farting, and coughing is a gassy princess, and I imagine that she loves farting, and I just feel like we would be friends in real life. She'd be giving Lumpy Space Princess vibes, not because they're both purple and lumpy, but because I feel like they have the same energy in their soul, and I feel like all three of us with Weezing, I feel like the four of us would all be princess best friends, and we could sit on my bed and we could fart, and then we could go to the mall and make fun of people, and then come home and fart and eat ice cream. And I just feel like that would be the vibe, and she's 10 out of 10, and I like her tummy tattoo. Weezing, same story. Weezing has a really nice tummy tattoo, and I love that you have a twin growing out of the side of your face like Peter Griffin, and I love your eyebrows. They're so big. And I want to have fangs that stick out of my mouth, because I think that would look so cute on me. And I think that if Weezing had arms, that she would help me do my makeup, and I think that she would help me make those little fake fang teeth, and I think we would be best friends. And that's all I have time for. I'm literally one away from Rhyhorn. We're going to have to start with my favorite Pokemon in the next video because I'm out of time. So I love you guys, and I will see you next time I rate Pokemon. And one day, we will finish the series. Sorry, episode 1 to episode 2 was such a big distance. I was procrastinating. And I love you. Bye, friends. Bye, friends.